What's up, guys? This is thi3n. Just cleared a GR100 solo, and on the screen behind me is going to be the rift that we did it. Did it on stream literally like 15 minutes ago. I just want to walk you guys through the build and through my thought process kind of as I was going through the rift. The first thing is we get on this floor, not a great map. I distinctly remember saying I hate this map, and the mob types weren't very favorable also. So we had Blazing Guardians and these zombies, which are actually not very good progression. Couple things that matter when you're going through these rifts, guys, is that you don't want low progression mobs. I stay here because I like the idea of getting Archon stacks. So I try and kill those spiders and those zombies just for Archon stacks, but you'll notice my progression's like nothing at that point. I have 83 Archon stacks. That means I've killed 33 monsters, but I have like maybe 2% of progression. Not very good. I get on to level 2 and I'm like, oh god, not the same map again. Just actual worse. Like, why did I even get this map? At this point, I had been running for about 7 hours, actually 7 hours of just grinding nonstop 100s, and I'm so used to it. I'm just like, wow, this map is just completely awful. I don't want any part of this whatsoever. But I try and make the most out of it, and then I get to this point, I think, and we reach an open area, our first open area with a power pylon, and I'm like, you know what? I'm probably just gonna rip this map, and when I say rip, I mean just restart the rift. And I'm like, let's just hit this power pylon and make the most out of it, right? And so I'm teleporting there. Black hole wasn't even the greatest. There was a waller in the way. But I got the black hole off. I killed the elite. And then I go back to the Aki ring, or try to go back to the Aki ring to get some Archon stacks. And I take a look down and I'm like, whoa, I have 119 Archon stacks. And, I talk about this when I do the speed build and when I'm on stream, but it's a momentum-based build. I'll go in, my other YouTube videos cover kind of the build and what you're doing to maintain your stacks and momentum. But this build is a very momentum-based build. We use the Veer's bonus to get as much attack speed as possible to get those Manald Heal procs. And again, I turn those 100 or so stacks into another 105 stacks. This floor honestly made the rift at this point. I know at this point that I have a chance, I have a shot, I'm above progression, I have a decent amount of density here, and so I'm constantly teleporting around, and I'll explain why teleporting around is important for the build in a second. But yeah, we're just teleporting around, getting even more stacks. Look at that, we turn it into another 100 stacks. And this momentum will persist, I think, throughout this particular map. I see another open area, and I'm like, okay, I just want to blast up this hallway, try and kill this blue pack, and then maybe keep some momentum going. I want to use these Archon stacks that I've built to try and get even more progression. So I gather up a bunch of mobs in this particular area, try and shoot the elites down. I managed to kill them, and I managed to keep even more Archon stacks going. Notice I have 108. The rift texture here is just really good. I'll talk about it right now, what I was talking about earlier, which is the idea of stunning mobs. I use the Ancient Parthenon Defenders in this build, and for every mob that's stunned within 25 yards, I get an extra 12% damage reduction. So if I'm stunning 7 mobs, I have 100% damage reduction. And so my teleports are placed in such a way that I want to maintain as much damage reduction as possible while not putting the mobs on diminishing returns. And this build has a lot of ways to put things on diminishing returns. Your Zay's secondary has a chance to stun the mob. Your paralysis, when you do lightning damage, stuns the mob, and your teleport stuns the mob, and as well as your glacial spike also can put minions on what's called CC reduction, and so they won't get stunned, and you won't get that damage reduction. So I'm trying to teleport in certain ways. I talk about it on stream a lot, but it's called like the triangle trick. I'll get a whole bunch of mobs together and I'll try and teleport around them in a circle. You won't see it here because I think the density is not good enough. This is too small of a map. Maybe here in this area I'll try and do the triangle trick on these guys, So look there, I teleport there, there, in a triangle fashion, trying to stun about 7 mobs at a time without putting them on diminishing returns. And you'll notice I'm not taking any damage. So a lot of comments on YouTube about, man, I'm so squishy with this build, what can I do to get that toughness? It's probably because you're not placing your teleports carefully enough. And another thing that gives us toughness is we're constantly attacking. We use magic weapon deflection, which gives us a 4% health shield every time that we attack. And so, you know, if you're dying a lot with the build, maybe you're not attacking a lot. You need to be attacking to get that shield. Maybe you're just running, you know, maybe you're just teleporting away or something, and you're getting bodied by certain affixes like Thunderstorm or Frozen, and you're not attacking. So you'll notice even outside of Archon, I'm casting Glacial Spike to just reapply that magic weapon deflection. Here at this point on this map on floor 4, I'm not happy at all. I don't like this map in general. We've gotten a lot of unfavorable maps, honestly. But I see a shield pylon and I'm like, okay, this is great. I just need something to kill with the shield pylon. I think I spotted a blue out of the corner of my eye in the bottom of the screen, and it's running up the stairs right now. And so I'm like, okay, I'm just going to jam the shield because my death passive is down. You can see Unstable Anomaly down there in the corner on my buff bar. And then I try and kill the blue. And because it's so tiny, it's such a tiny mob, I actually kind of lose it in all of the hoopla. And it doesn't help that he's a teleporter as well, and he's fast. It's just, you know, those combination of affixes make it hard to spot, and he's just like a small mob type in general. Like if he was a huge phase beast or something, it'd be easier to see him. But in this particular moment, I'm like, okay, well, I have shield anyways, whatever. I'll just use one more cycle and we'll get this guy down. I have a ton of progression at this point, so I feel safe. I think it's a good decision to kill this blue because I can get those blue orbs. And I burst down that pack and I'm like, hey, where's the blue? Why didn't I get my purple orbs of progression? Not only was there one that was further, there was also one that was close to me. So I missed 2 of them at this point. I'm pretty mad at myself for not getting those blues. But I'm like, okay, whatever. I'll use one more cycle. At this point, I'm priced into killing it. I have to kill it to get the progression. So I decide to just try and funnel them through maybe this door, or I get in a corner so that way they can't teleport behind me. You know, I kind of made that adjustment there. I was like, okay, if this guy's, you know, I turned into Archon again. It still didn't die. I was like, where is it? Where did he go? Where did he go? He teleported away as soon as I got 4 stacks, but managed to finally kill him there. And you know, my progression's still great at this point. That floor 2 again was just stellar. We get on to floor 5 and I hate this map. I just straight up hate this map. It's not good. Corvus, you have to click these doors. Blizzard, if you're watching this video, please get rid of doors. I hate doors. You know, I'm this all-powerful Archon, but I can't, you know, teleport through a door. It makes no sense to me. So yeah, we're teleporting through the rift at this point. We see tongue lashers, and immediately I panic. I'm just like, oh god, not tongue lashers. If you notice, we have not died with this build at all yet. Not dying with the build is very important to keeping that momentum. You know, the overlapping Archon stacks, making sure that you have enough cooldown reduction so that it's also synced up with your lightning on your CoE, so you can get those overlapping Archon stacks, your 4-stack towels, and your lightning CoE kind of all at the same time and deal a lot of damage within that little burst of window that you have. I see some mobs here and I'm like, you know what, I'll kill those. And then I was like, nah, let's just try this next floor. I don't love this 4-6 at all. I don't like this map for the reasons I didn't like the other maps, and that's because they're just narrow, not a lot of room to outplay Frozens and Thunderstorms and certain things that like will kill you, Spear Chuckers, for example. So I think I mentioned on stream that like, oh god, why am I in this map? Of course I got archers, there's just no density in here. I'm pretty tilted, honestly. And then I see that, and if you didn't see it, there was like a pylon that basically says this is the end of the rift. If you see it there in the upper right corner, I'm tilted at this point. I'm on stream, I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna fail this rift because I ran out of map. You know, I made the correct decision to skip certain mobs, to keep my progression high, and now I'm being punished for it because, you know, I've made it all the way to the end. I've made it to floor 6 and could not get there. I try and kill this yellow mob because I'm like, okay, maybe I can solve this rift. I'm gonna try and kill this ghost. I read his affixes out loud and I'm like, oh gosh, I just have no chance of killing him. He's Frozen, he's Thunderstorm, and he's just the ghost mob type. I try and give it one burst. Maybe I can chunk him and we could be priced into killing him. And I was like, nope, it's not going to happen. And I'm like, okay, now what do I do? Let's go back to that pack that was at the beginning or at the end of the previous rift before we went into this level. And this pack is good enough for a decent amount of percent. I'll use the Archon stacks that I get from this and maybe try and kill something. Is my thought. Like, I don't know if I've skipped a blue or a yellow or something, but this density is good enough for me to try something out. So here we go. We're bursting down. We get 78 Archon stacks. Not bad at all. And here's a blue mob that maybe we can kill with it. We have 83 Archon stacks actually. Let's hit these doors down so they don't bother us later. And let's try and kill it in this room. We teleport around, again, keeping up our damage reduction here. And we want to funnel our beam right through the door. We want to make sure all 3 of the blues are kind of lined up there. And they're lined up. Seems perfect. We line it up, burst them all down right here. I think we get it in one burst, which is fantastic. One burst, got them. And we have 96%. Or is it? Yes, 96%. And I'm like, okay, I just need 4% more. This isn't bad. I know those turkeys give a lot of progression, but I was kind of optimistic. I was like, okay, maybe this is 4% right here. I'm going to try and burst down this turkey. Let's get the boss out in this particular level, and let's try it. So I'm waiting for halfway through my fire cycle so I can sync it up with my CoE. Okay, halfway through my fire cycle, maybe a little early there. We jam it. We kill the turkey, and we're at 99%. Feels bad, man. So we have to wait another Lightning Archon cycle at this point, and then once we get the Lightning Archon cycle, we can get another burst down. So we're teleporting. We just need to kill anything to get the Lightning Archon cycle here. And black hole, halfway through fire, and we get the boss out. Hopefully we do get the boss out. All right. I had been rifting all night. I had not faced the Crusader King up until this point, so I'm trying to just re-jog my memory at this point while stacking my stricken stacks, trying to get everything we can. And when we get these stricken stacks, we're basically trying to burst the boss down with our next few rotations. I think we have about 2.5 minutes at this point. And I can't remember if he summons ads, but the ad summons will give us extra stacks of Archon. I see that he summons ads here, and I'm like, okay, this is a good boss. Maybe we can do this. At this point, the Crusader King, I'm remembering his mechanics. Those purple orbs hurt us quite a bit, so those are the things we need to play around. And then I'm trying to remember, does he do a teleport strike? Right now, he's not on CC reduction, so he was getting full CC by my teleports and stuff, and he hasn't done a teleport hit yet. But we've bursted him down quite a bit, and I feel pretty comfortable about the rift at this point. I'm like, okay, yeah, on stream I'm feeling pretty good. You know, people are already saying this is the rift in chat and stuff, and I think we're in a good spot. But let's see. Now that's the scary moment right there. So he does his little purple orb thing, and I feel safe because I have Archon and the slow time around me, but it just wears off as he casts it, and then I get my death passive procced, and he teleport strikes me right after that. I teleport out of the way, kill a minion, get the obsidian ring or the Aki ring on the ground, and then we're able to burst him down. It was a really good moment. That was my goal for the season. That was our GR100. Hope you liked the video, and I will see you guys next time.